What common trait do you find extremely unattractive in the opposite or same sex? People being obsessed with their social media presence. Inflated egos. Entitlement. Incapability of being humble and make fun of yourself. I read that as inflated egos. Yum yum. The whole let me push all your buttons. You're wrong. I'm right. I do it because I think it's funny to rile you up shtick. Then repeat it immediately. And when you ask them to stop, it's all, guess I just won't have fun or joke around anymore, and then avoid talking to you at all. It's cool how some people manage to be funny while also being a nice person. Someday I'm sure you'll figure at least one of them out. Apostrophe. Self-absorbed behavior. The Kardashian/Housewives of Syndrome. You are not the star of some reality show. Stop acting like it. I get such second-hand embarrassment when average people post to social media like they're famous. It seems to be the norm now to post content like you're addressing fans and not literally just your friends and family as most are. Hi guys, here's a quick haul I've picked up from Lush. Haven't been posting much lately due to change of circumstances, but I'm back. Big thank you to @TOPSHOP for my new jeans. They are amazing. I'm sure your 200 followers are on the edge of their seats. You nailed it, man. Second-hand embarrassment is definitely something I can relate to. I always try to stay neutral about stuff cause you know, not my life. Whatever. But sometimes it just gets a little cringy. It is sad that people can get so self-absorbed, really. When they think that their taste in music makes them a superior person instead of just having different tastes. Applies to both genders. Edit. Phrasing. Bruh, this. Not just music, but clothes, favorite TV shows, or YouTubers. Most people usually grow out of thinking that their interests are a substitute for a personality around the mid-20s. Everyone says they want their partner to be super career ambitious. Screw that. I say put in your 40 hours and chill. I want someone who knows how to relax. My partner told me I'm the first partner who won't let him work himself to death. I don't understand that attitude. Don't you like spending time together? Now I'm wondering if I should tell my partner to work less. I just support whatever he's doing and enjoy him when I see him. /view 200D. You 3 keep my hopes alive of meeting this type of woman. I worked 3 jobs at one point with my ex, and my free time went to her. She still wanted me to change my CV and apply for more. Oh, also I should be making an attempt to go to uni. I'm more of a blue collar guy. I ain't super ambitious and wanna work, get off and enjoy the things I like. Needed to see this, thanks. I'm a programmer and I know I could be making more. But the thing I like best about my job is at the end of the day I close my work laptop and don't have to think about it until the start of the next work day. I've had to work over a few times, but it's been rare, and usually I do it on my own to get something done that day, so it feels better than being told I have to work over. Always on their phone. This shit annoys me so much. I want to talk to someone while looking at them. When they are constantly on their phone, it makes me feel like I'm talking to myself, and it's awkward as duck. Lack of compassion. They only seem to care about themselves. The inability to admit they are wrong, or when they apologize and then justify their actions. It depends on the way they justify their actions after apologizing though. It could just be an explanation on why they acted or thought the way they did. To give some insight on their thought process, so you don't assume they are just genuinely stupid. There's a fine line between explanation and excuse. I've never understood why people hate others explaining their mistakes. Explaining the thought process helps identify the step that led to the mistake and helps with getting it right the next time. What's so bad with that? Edit. Since I got many similar comments, I will try to reply in more detail about my comment. I put mistakes in 2 categories, emotional vs non-emotional. Emotional mistakes are ones that hurt others' feelings. In most cases, where one person is clearly in the wrong, you should not explain these mistakes because explaining is missing the whole point and causing more hurt feelings. If you forget your so's birthday, you should not be explaining why. However, with non-emotional mistakes, e.g., work/study/parenting children, not listening to explanation or even justification can be harmful and counterproductive. For example, if a child lies to their parents, it's crucial for the child to explain/justify their lying than to hear them say I was wrong. Another example, if a coworker admits their work mistake, no longer shifting blame, it's important to learn their explanation/justification to find the false step in their logic. Edit 2. With emotional mistakes, there are scenarios in which the two parties do not agree on the nature of the mistake. In the scenario when a couple in a romantic relationship fights, oftentimes it's more about disagreement than one hurting the other's feeling. For example, when the two value something differently, does not include loyalty, honesty, and other basic principles, and fight about it, that mismatch will cause hurt feelings for one or both. In this instance, the person first admitting wrongness, even if followed by justification, is throwing an olive branch, and should at least deserve some credit, because this shows willingness to have communication, and communication is key in any relationship. I have always tried to explain how I arrived at my mistake, and almost every time the person I'm explaining it to has said I'm either making excuses, or am trying to explain away the mistake. No, I'm not. I know I ducked up. And this is why I ducked up. I have had this argument so many times, and every time it ends with you're only apologizing because I want to hear it, not because you're actually sorry, which just puts me in a catch-22. Or like, I say sorry, I didn't realize you felt that way about my behavior. I'll work on it. Then they think I'm blaming them and not taking any blame myself, when I literally just didn't know you were upset with me. Shouting at their partners in public. You would hate my parents, lol. I feel the same way. OHH. Well, I've been guilty of doing the same, and it's one of those things that make me feel like shite about myself every time I remember it. It's okay to make mistakes, so long as you learn from them. Remembering embarrassing things is painful, but it's part of learning the lesson. I'm an asshole and I don't care if people call me an asshole attitude. Also the I tell it like it is, or always speak my mind people, who are basically unfiltered assholes. Brutally honest people are typically more concerned with the brutality than the honesty. Edit, spelling. I'm honest and I can totally say this is true. People who self-describe as brutally honest are looking for a pass to be mean-spirited. It also shows lack of growth in my opinion. If you're being a mean girl at age 30, you missed some development along the way. If anything, you can honestly say, you don't want to know what I think. Shut down the question. And it's entirely possible to be critical while being mindful of people's sensitivities. If you want to be critical, you need to be sure to take into consideration the other person's perspective than to just insist you're right. For some people, it's easier just to be an asshole. Shit talking others to make themselves look better. If someone shit talks everyone else when they are not around, I usually start to wonder how they talk when I'm not in the room. This is my mother-in-law. Talks shit about everyone. I finally had enough and asked her what she said about me when I wasn't around. Hard to get turns to hard to want real fast. As a woman, I've had a lot of people tell me I'm too easy. Countless men and women say I come on too strong. I can respond to texts in a decent time. Have sex quickly if I'm feeling it. etc. The irony is, I just weed out the people who are playing games really quickly because I don't play games. If they wanna chase, they can go find a girl who wants to be chased. I don't have time to waste manipulating my way into an unhealthy relationship. I've had the same happen as a guy. People always make comments on how I ask women out / tell them I like them way too quickly. Thing is, I used to be the guy that waited so long that we become friends and it gets weird, or they find someone else while I'm ducking around. Now I make my intentions very clear very early on. Either you're into it or you're not. Had way more success this way. Same story here. Used to always be shy and afraid of rejection, so I'd wait for it to be the right time. To anybody else doing this, here's a pro tip: it's never the right time. Just ducking, do it. You'll feel better in the long run. Now the moment I acknowledge that I have any sort of feelings, I'll let it sit for maybe a week or 2 maximum to make sure it's real feelings, and then make a move, which is usually along the lines of, hey, want to have dinner sometime? Or for more distant relationships, I hope this doesn't come off as creepy, but I kinda have a thing for you. You either get turned down right away and move on, or you get the green flag and go from there. My approach will usually turn off women who want a more aggressive or manly partner, and will succeed with those who find it cute and enjoy a guy that can be that way, effectively weeding out the people who aren't my type. So it works out pretty well. Worst experience I ever had in being direct was that I gave a guy my number after working across from each other for a few weeks and joking around. And his complete lack of response told me his answer. Honestly, didn't care, moved on. Didn't waste my time getting more and more into a guy who was never going to be into it with me. Direct is the way to go. People who do things for clout and don't actually care for being genuine until they need something from you. Person gives homeless man X amount of money and he cries type of videos. Don't show me that shit. Give the man the money. Feel good about yourself and duck off. Don't give it to him and expect me to praise you. You attention seeker. It absolutely is a good deed, but it's never done to solely help the guy. It's done for internet praise. I hate that. Like with those essay-length Facebook posts where someone acts like they're some gracious humanitarian because they gave some homeless dude $5 for a coffee or some shit, and proceed to go on about how caring they are with the usual song and dance. It's good that they did something good as opposed to bad. But to me, boasting about it all over social media nullifies any cred the gracious giver would have otherwise gotten in my eyes. Being rude to wait staff. It shows a utter lack of understanding / empathy to others. Not caring that the staff are other people. It's often associated with the person thinking they're better than others. It's a complete turn off for me, and would refuse to date someone like this. It's actually a great test for weeding out people who become monsters when given the smallest amount of perceived power over someone else. The alpha mentality. Anytime a dude calls himself an alpha male, I always think of Pinocchio when he says, "I'm a real boy." Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.